There are salsa dancing lessons, so your mommy and I can learn to dance the salsa much better than I am dancing in this chair.
So horrible.
That's why I'd be taking lessons, so at least
and you would still be so bad.
Oh, come on, kid.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Storzy Stories. I'm Anthony.
I am Daddy. This is the game plan where we set up our plans and the things that we want to do, our top 5 ideas for what to do and where to eat when we go on Milwaukee Brewers trips, and what is the city that we are going to.
Miami, right on the Atlantic coastline down in Florida.
To go see the Milwaukee Brewers play the Miami Marlins and hopefully beat them when we take that trip. We've each come up with our top 5 ideas of things to do. Your number 1 pick has to do with the world of sports. It's not baseball, but it's one of the most historic spots of what's still remaining in Miami when it comes to great sporting attractions.
Hard Rock Stadium, home to the Miami Dolphins of the NFL. Just a great football team that's going to be a contender for years to come when we're shooting this.
I don't mean to interrupt, but this place has a lot of history to it.
Really?
A bunch of Super Bowls have been played there, going all the way back to 1988 when Joe Montana led the San Francisco 49ers over the Cincinnati Bengals with a last-second drive to win Super Bowl 23, one of the great Super Bowl games I've ever seen.
Yeah, and so that's when it opened, 1988?
About a year before that.
Oh, wow.
Now, they recently renovated the
Yeah,
place.
look, it doesn't look like it was built in 1988. It looks like it was built in maybe 2010.
And then a lot of Wisconsin sports history there, too, by the way.
Oh.
The Badgers have won an Orange Bowl there.
Oh.
And, of course, this was the replacement for the original Orange Bowl Stadium, which is, by the way, we're going to get to that in just a little bit. And if you remember 2014, you might have been too young to remember this, Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to a comeback win over the Dolphins with a touchdown pass with 3 seconds left.
I don't remember that one. I remember a lot of Rodgers Hail Marys, but not that one.
That wasn't a Hail Mary. That was
I guess.
That was right on the goal line where he did a fake spike on the play before to set him up for the game winner, and then threw the game winner with 3 seconds left. Your number 2 has a bit of sport of a different type.
Oh.
A lot of water sports that you can get involved in this particular place. It is
Key Biscayne Beach. When you go to Miami, you have to go to a beach.
You absolutely
That's
have
like, if you go to Miami and you go to a beach, and if you don't go to a beach, you're crazy. But not all of you, if you've done that, because you're not crazy, because you're cool.
Yes, you are. And one of you, by the way, suggested this. It's Sean, one of our great YouTube followers, suggested this one. And this is the kind of place to check out a sunrise.
Yes, we've been to one on the lakefront here in Milwaukee.
You can sort of see the link up here somewhere.
Up here.
Yeah.
There, it's right on the Atlantic Ocean.
A fantastic spot to check out. And Sean tells us he scouted out the place. He's been to that place a bunch of times. Check out the ice cream trucks that stop by.
Okay.
You would be rather thrilled with that. Your number 3 is the reason we're going to Miami in the first place.
Marlins Park, home to the Miami Marlins. And it used to be a really cool stadium until Derek Jeter came along.
What? Explain this.
So they used to have like the giant fish thing in the outfield.
Okay.
And there was like a giant cool sculpture, and he took that down. That was like the only big thing of that stadium. But it still is a cool stadium, and it is one of the only MLB stadiums, I'm pretty sure, that has hosted Super Bowl Media Night.
It did host that when the Super Bowl most recently came to Miami. Does it still have, I believe, does it have a fish tank? Does it have fish there?
I think so, yeah. And they have a whole lot of other cool stuff. And then they also have a swimming pool.
Which is awesome.
And it's just a really cool place. The outside, a lot of palm trees, a lot of Florida things and trees and plants.
And it also was the site of the original Orange Bowl Stadium.
Really?
They tore it down and built Marlins Park on top of it. This was the home of the Miami Dolphins, the great Miami Hurricanes college football teams in the 1980s and 1990s. Super Bowls were played there, including the last game Vince Lombardi ever coached with the Packers, Super Bowl II.
And guess who won? The Packers.
Of course. Of course. So it's a bit of a Packers pilgrimage as well as going to a Brewers game.
Every city has a Packers pilgrimage.
We find some way. Find some way to do it. And one of the residents of the Orange Bowl, way back when the Dolphins first started in the 1960s, had a permanent home at your number 4 spot.
Really?
Flipper, the famous dolphin,
Flipper
lived at
the Miami Seaquarium. It's right on the coast, or at least close to it, and they have dolphins, sharks, manatees, sea turtles, penguins, and rays. And obviously manatees in past years of when we're filming this had been pretty endangered and were in serious trouble, but thanks to generous donors, they're back and doing well again.
Yes.
And this place is just awesome. You can swim with dolphins, seals, you can touch bamboo sharks, and invertebrates. That means that they don't have a backbone.
And check out what shows they have. What's in the show?
Killer whale, Flipper the dolphins, and the sea lion. So does Flipper the dolphins, are those like Flipper's?
No, it's
relatives?
I believe it's a descendant of the original Flipper from the TV show.
That is so cool.
Back when Flipper lived at the Orange Bowl part-time, they had a pool in the East End Zone, and they would toss the football up to Flipper after it was kicked for an extra point or a field goal.
Yep.
Number 5, speaking of animals, we stay with that, Dean, because as a kid, you love animals, and you're going to take us to
Zoo Miami, and it has more than 3,000 animals on 750 acres, so about the size of our zoo here in Milwaukee. They have tortoises. You can feed camels, giraffes, parrots, and rhinos.
Yes, you can feed the rhinos.
That's
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
The greater one-horn rhinos there, they have a
pygmy
hippopotamus.
Little itty-bitty hippopotamus with a pig's face.
Oh, and they have, of course, the Philly Fanatics relatives, the Galapagos tortoise. Of course.
I don't know if they're actually related. I somehow doubt it. My top 5 have to do, especially with 2 things that Miami is defined by: culture and nature. The cultures that have found their home in Miami. One of them is the Cuban culture, and my number 1 pick celebrates it in Little Havana. It is the Cubaocho Museum and Performing Arts Center. It's called Cubaocho because it's Cuba, and it's on 8th Street in Miami. It's part art museum, part live music venue, part live dance venue,
and part
restaurant, and part cigar bar.
Food.
You have Cuban artwork from as far back as the year 1800 in this place.
Wow.
So you get a lot of history there. They got live music on weekend nights. There are salsa dancing lessons, so your mommy and I can learn to dance the salsa much better than I am dancing in this chair.
So horrible.
That's why I'd be taking lessons, so at least I
And
know
you would still be so bad.
Oh, come on, kid. And you can learn, too. That way, when the time comes and you want to go on dates and things like that, many women love to dance.
Okay.
That will help you. Trust me, I promise. You know how to salsa dance, that will help you. And yes, there is food at this place.
Cuban ham croquettes.
Yep.
Fried pork chunks with plantain fries, which is similar to chicken tenders.
One of his favorite foods. Obviously, if you watch our channel, you know who's addicted to them. Number 2 also has to do with Cuban culture, and especially the Cuban story about immigrating to the United States from Cuba, particularly at a very hard time in that nation's history. The Freedom Tower at Miami-Dade College. It's known as the Ellis Island of the South. You know what Ellis Island is, right?
Yes.
This is the southern version of it, but particularly for Cuban immigrants who came to Miami during the very beginnings of the Castro regime in Cuba, and they wanted to escape. They were refugees. They escaped on just various types of handmade boats and braved very dangerous seas to come to the U.S. And this is where they checked in and began the immigration process to become U.S. citizens. It's a tower that is right by an honorable mention for one of your favorite spots in the arena. It's right across the street from American Airlines Arena.
Yes, American Airlines Arena is home to what I like to call the heartbreaking. He heartbroke our team in the playoffs.
Milwaukee Bucks, yeah.
Yes, that was cool. But they do have a great color scheme that he hates. Wear the pink jerseys. Wear the pink jerseys.
Pink basketball jerseys. What in the world?
I like them. I like the Miami Vice scheme.
On that note, number 3 of my picks on something that's completely off the charts with that. Nature defines so much of South Florida.
Yeah.
And on a short drive away from downtown Miami, on National Highway 41, by the way, so we could drive from like a couple of miles away here in Milwaukee all the way down Highway 41.
I wanted to do that trip where we go all the way from here to Miami.
And checking all the baseball and everything else to do. But they have Gator Park in the Everglades, and that is a particular program that allows you to go on airboat tours of the Everglades, the swamps there.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And the ability that an airboat gives you is to go right skimming along the surface of the swamp where you can safely be just far enough away to be safe while watching 200,000 alligators that live in the Everglades. That's how many alligators live in this swampland that's the Everglades National Park. And it's just so many different species of animals and plant life that live in this place. And it gives you an amazing view to check out of all of that. Number 4 also has partially to do with a view of nature, partially to do with the view of the crazy fun Miami scene in Miami Beach. It is Ocean Drive. Either someplace to check out if you want to see a beautiful sunrise while driving along the Atlantic, or especially at night when Miami Beach and South Beach is hopping. You have on one side the Atlantic Ocean and the parkland and beaches next to it.
Okay.
The other side you have all the neon signs from all the nightclubs and restaurants and hotels in the Art Deco style of architecture from the mid-20th century, and it's just hopping. If you want to just people watch, it's just crazy fun to see. Now, we'd probably do it early at night.
Yeah.
Might not be good for you late at night just to sit and watch.
I'd be so tired.
Yeah, you'd be gone. You would be gone.
Especially after we do all the stuff we've been talking about in this video.
And the last thing that we're talking about in this video, my number 5 in alphabetical order, is a beautiful piece of artwork that is painted all over an entire community in Miami, the Wynwood Walls.
Yes.
It's part of this combination of Little Haiti as well as Little Havana, and where all those neighborhoods meet. They brought in 14 nations worth of different graffiti artists, all from around the world, to paint the fronts and the sides of 80,000 square feet of buildings in one neighborhood.
I'm trying to think, how much would 80,000 square feet be?
Okay, that's about 400 feet by 200 feet.
Oh, wow.
That's almost the size of a football field.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a lot of art.
It's vibrant color, it's expression, it is fun to check out.
Yes.
So fun to check out. But when we check out a city like Miami or any place that we go, you need to do something 3 times a day typically. What is it?
Eat, and I eat a lot more than 3 times a day.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I'm kidding.
So, but we have next week our restaurant video to check out. So what should people do in order to get our content?
Like, share, which is like the little triangle thing with dots. Subscribe, which is just that YouTube button.
That's the big one.
Make it gray, and then also make that little bell gray turn on.
Ding.
Ding.
Ding. Ding. But check out all that content and all the fun stuff that we do as we plan for, and once we finally are able to do it, get back to taking baseball trips and seeing our Milwaukee Brewers on the road wherever we are.
Maybe 2021. Who knows?
Yep, maybe later this year. For Little Buddy, I'm Daddy. Can you take us out with the impersonation of our favorite baseball announcer?
So long from Storm J Story Studios in Milwaukee, folks. See ya.